Hi, everybody. Welcome to another post-game edition of Brownie Bites. He is Daryl Ruiter. I'm Andy Baskin. The Browns lose miserably, 34-10. If you're still awake and you're not watching the ball game afterwards, how are you awake? Because that thing was a snoozer, and all things failed for the Browns today. Again, you set the defense up in short to have short drives for Detroit. You are in big trouble, and it's exactly what happened today.
Yeah, I mean, the two other phases, offense and special teams, did the Browns in. Special teams, no real returns to help with field position, and then they give up a 65-yard punt return for a touchdown. Andre Schmidt missed a 56-yard field goal. You count the turnovers. All in all, this wasn't on the defense. I know the score at 34-10, Andy, makes it seem like the defense had a bad day at the office. No, it was the offense and the special teams giving up field position, giving up points. And again, it's just another unfortunate situation where they don't have anything offensively. And what I mean by they don't have anything offensively, they don't have a quarterback. Okay. I think it's crystal clear 4 games in, Joe Flacco doesn't have it anymore. I also think it's crystal clear 4 games in, they don't have any tackles. Both Cornelius Lucas and KT Leviston got beat like drums on Sunday. So Andrew Berry needs to shore up the tackle position. And, you got to catch the football too when it's thrown to you. To be fair to Joe Flacco, when your offensive line isn't doing its job and you're having critical passes dropped, obviously, Fannin and Judy come to mind right off the top, but they had, 5-6 drop passes on Sunday in Detroit, Andy. And it just
Jerry Judy had 9 targets and caught 3 balls.
Yeah, and also too, though, to be fair to Jerry, there were a couple of those that were throwaways that he gets charged with a target, but the reality is that Joe Flacco was just kind of throwing the ball away. One of the interceptions went in Jerry Judy's direction, and I think he needed to do a better job on that play.
It looked like he got tackled before the ball came to him.
Well, he lost his footing, and at the same time, the defender was arriving, so it looked like the defender was climbing all over him. And then look, I mean, you could say that a flag should have been thrown there. I think that there is a little bit of a case to be made there, but certainly not why the Browns lost this game.
I would say if the Browns were a team that had any respect, the flag would have been thrown there.
Possibly. I mean, but what have they done to earn any respect, right?
Oh, they haven't. That's why I'm just saying, teams that win find a way to – things seem to go their way, Look, that's not the game. The game happened when they missed the field goal. Probably should have got more than 3 on that anyway after the Denzel Ward interception. And the bottom line is, you give up a punt return, boom, man, that just sucked the life out of the team. Done after that.
Yeah, points off turnovers. And this was a repeat of what happened in Baltimore, essentially, Andy. It was a close game through 3 quarters. Mental errors cost him in the 4th and allowed the Lions to pull away. Dylan Gabriel got the mop and bucket and got to clean up. And, well, he looked great out there, too. I say that tongue-in-cheek. With the quick 3-and-out series that he ran. So the reality is they're just not going anywhere this year because they don't have a quarterback. And that's got to be extremely frustrating for the defense because of how good they are on that side of the ball, led by Myles Garrett, led by Denzel Ward, who, as you mentioned, had an interception. And it's utterly hopeless, it feels like, on offense. The Browns in their games this year, Andy, I have the numbers here.
I don't want to hear them, but go ahead. Tell me anyway.
16, 17, 13, and 10. What am I?
You are the number of points the Browns have scored in each game.
The Browns currently are on pace to average exactly 14 points per football game this year. That ranks 3rd worst in the expansion era. I looked this up before we did this video cast here on YouTube. In 2000, they averaged 10.06 points per game, scoring a whopping 161 points over a 16-game schedule.
Wow.
In 1999, They scored 216 points in that season and averaged 13.56 points per ball game. And in 2011, they scored 218 points in the season. That's a 13.62 average per game. So this would be the fourth worst scoring offense in modern expansion era Cleveland Browns history. Shall I go through the volume of seasons in which they have failed to average 20 points per game since 1999?
Well, aren't we looking at 20 of the last 22 games? They've had 20 or less points. Is that right?
Yeah.
20 of the last. No, I'm sorry. They didn't get it. So 22. They were stuck at 19 or 20. Sorry, 19 of the last 22 games. They have 20 or less points.
17 seasons since this team has been back, they have failed to score 20 points in a season. Or I should say, they have failed to average scoring 20 points in a season. By the way, this is obviously the lowest output under Kevin Stefanski, because in recent years, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, they averaged north of 20 points per game. But yeah, I mean, this is just, I mean, it's mind-boggling how bad this offense is right now. They give them no opportunity to win. They shoot themselves in the foot. I do like the fight of Quinshon Judkins. You see that in him. I know Fannin had a drop pass on Sunday, but I like the fight that you see in him. I love this rookie class. I really do. You see a lot of fight in these kids. And but right now there just isn't a whole lot with this football team to feel all that good about. Again, going up to Detroit, they finally score in the first quarter. Good start, right? Take a 7-0.
Really good start.
13 play, 86, 88-yard drive there.
After stopping them. Like, who thought they would stop the Lions on the first drive of the game? Nobody.
Yeah, it took over 7 minutes off the clock, 7-0 lead. You're feeling good. And then the only other points they would score the rest of the way would be an Andre Schmidt 33-yard field goal off a turnover that you couldn't cash in for 7 points. You had to settle for the 3. But even at that point, Andy, it was a 20-10 game. It was 20-10 going into the fourth quarter. You had a shot. And I even posted on X, hey, could they have another 10-point the deficit rally for a second straight week? They did it obviously the previous week at home against the Green Bay Packers, and the answer to that was hell no, because they gave up the 65-yard punt return for a touchdown, which basically that was blouses at 27-10 there early in the fourth quarter. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown caught his second touchdown from Jared Goff, this one for 8 yards out, to make it 34-10 and, start packing your bags for.
The hard part is it's not like Goff was a top 10 quarterback that would play. Well, I'll probably say top 7. It's not like he played the most amazing game either. It's 16-27, 168, 2 touchdowns and interception. I mean, the defense gave him a chance again.
I've lost count of how many games in a row this is where the defense has not allowed a 300-yard passer. Okay, Goff threw for 168 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, had a rating of 86.7, 16-27 on the afternoon. Those are not great numbers, but it ended up being.
Gibbs did when you're averaging 6 yards a carry. That's
15 carries, 91 yards. Yeah, I mean, Gibbs killed you on the ground a little bit, but again, though, like, the defense did their job on Sunday, and I know the scoreboard doesn't reflect that, but it's the same thing in Baltimore. The defense did their job that day. It's the offense and the special teams. Like, really, what does Bubba Ventrone do for the Cleveland Browns? Seriously.
I don't know. Again, why was Mike Prefer let go? I ask that every time I think about why Bubba's here. Like, what did Mike Prefer do that was wrong? And I know it's been a couple of years now. Like, well, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I expect better results. This is 2 straight years of poor special teams play where they're unprepared in that phase of the game. I mean, you had a punt return collision. It was almost a fumble on a punt return because you had 2 guys. It was like the Keystone Cops out there, guys slamming into each other. Loose footballs everywhere, bodies flying everywhere, trying to fall on the loose ball. Like, it's really, really frustrating. And how long before Myles Garrett blows his top? How long before Denzel Ward blows his top? at the offense not getting it done, or at the front office for totally screwing the pooch on the quarterback situation again.
All right, so where are we with the quarterback situation?
Year.
Where are we? What do you want to do? What do you want to do with the quarterbacks now? A lot of people said by the time you get to Minnesota, Flacco would be done.
Yeah. Well, I do think now it's appropriate to have the conversation. Here's the issue, though, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
At 1-3, you're going nowhere. Okay.
Right.
We know this. Do you want to put Dylan Gabriel out there to take a beating in London and then to come back to the States and go to Pittsburgh and take another beating for his first 2 NFL starts? Or, hear me out, do you want to wait till the following week when maybe the schedule gets a little, I don't want to say easier, because there's no such thing as easy when it comes to this season and this Browns team, but I'm just saying maybe let's wait a couple of weeks. The team's not going anywhere. Have Flacco absorb it for a couple of weeks and then make the change when the schedule gets a little lighter or friendlier.
All right, I'll tell you what I would do right now. You tell me what you would do. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
You're going to have to play teams in the NFL. You can't sit here and baby a player because it's we think a team is strong or a team isn't strong. Your defense is going to give you a chance to win. I don't care who the quarterback is. That is the one thing that we know about this team. The defense has given this team a chance to win every game. Who cares? Put Gabriel out there now. The only thing you have to fear is that he gets hurt. It's the only thing you fear. Give him a chance. There's nothing to lose. I like Joe Flacco. I would have been okay if they would have, if he started 17 games this year. But the time is now. This draft looks pretty good for Andrew Berry. Let's see what he got in the quarterbacks. You're going to London. You can hide over on the other side of the pond. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to tell the coaching staff to stay behind in London and get their own plane ticket home? Dude, make the change. Just make it.
Yeah, Vikings next Sunday morning, our time, 9:30 a.m. kickoff against the Vikings. Might be good news that most Browns fans will still be in bed sleeping.
Or hungover.
From Saturday, right. Then they go to Pittsburgh.
I didn't see the baseball schedule came out too. I don't even know when would game 3 be.
I saw
it just came out a couple minutes ago. You talk for a second. I'm going to tell you how bad the hangover might be for Browns fans.
Well, I have the schedule right in front of me.
You do? Okay, go ahead.
Game 1 of the wild card will be Tuesday, September 30th, either at 1 or 6.
Okay.
Game 2 of the wild card series would be Wednesday, again at 1 or 6. And then Thursday, October 2nd, to be announced Sunday night, as we're recording this right after the game, Sunday afternoon. They'll make a determination, because that's obviously it's necessary, because it's a best of 3. You got to win 2 of the 3 to advance. So you'd be looking, I believe game 1 of the division series would be on Saturday. So if
they make it out of the wild card round, it's going to make next weekend interesting.
Yes. But they'd be on the road, though, I think. Unless, well, maybe they won't. It depends on.
I mean, as we're talking right now, they're losing to Texas 4-3 in the 5th, but that doesn't mean anything. And I just wasted StreamYard time by even just telling you that, because by the time we watch this, it won't matter. What I just said 2 seconds ago won't matter.
It does not matter, so we'll just strike it from the record. But back to the Browns here.
Strike it from the record, Judge Judy. Thank you.
They go to Pittsburgh after London, come home to play the Dolphins October 19th. Then you've got a trip to New England October 26th. Then a trip to New York to play the Jets, back home to play the Ravens, at Las Vegas November 23rd, 49ers at home November 30th, Titans at home December 7th, the Bears in Chicago December 14, December 21 against the Bills, December 28th at home against the Steelers.
So, Daryl, let me go back to the question. You're not changing quarterbacks at this point, right?
I am willing to consider it at this point.
Okay, good.
Because here's my thing. I think we've reached the point of the season, Andy. It just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We can sit here and debate who the quarterback should be till we're blue in the face. Doesn't matter. None of them are any good, so it doesn't matter. It's a moot point. They don't have any tackles that can block. Doesn't matter. Okay? Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They're still going to lose. Plain and simple. You're wasting what could potentially be a historically good defense that is getting burned out in fourth quarters because your offense is incompetent and can't do anything. They can't block. They can't throw accurately. They can't catch. The only thing you can do is run. I was glad to see Quinshon Judkins get as many touches as he did on Sunday. That for me was a positive. He's one of the very few positives, but 82 yards on 21 carries. They targeted him 4 times, so that's 25 touches for Judkins in that game, Andy. And I think that's about right. That's what you need to do with him. But yeah, it don't matter who the quarterback is. I don't even want to have the debate because it doesn't matter. Does it? I mean, from your perspective, does it matter who is the quarterback of this football team right now? Does any of these guys give them a better chance to win than the other?
No, not right now.
So the only reason you make a change now is just for the hell of it, right? I mean, that's where you're at. I mean, let's look at some numbers from Sunday, Andy. And 16 first downs for both teams. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You were 3 for 14 on third down. Detroit was 6 of 14 on third down. Total net yards, you lost that battle, 277 to 249. But you didn't exactly get your butt kicked in that area. Okay.
No.
Basically, the reason I'm going through these, Andy, is because the statistics don't reflect the evenness of the game. They really don't. Offensive plays. You ran 9 more offensive plays than the Detroit Lions did, and yet you lost by 24 points. Yes, you got outgained 109 to 79 as far as your net yardage goes. This will shock you. You had a better passing day than Jared Goff did in the Lions, 170 to 168.
Oh, there you go.
So penalties were even. Each team got flagged 6 times, but you had 3 turnovers, and it's just not winning football. And you won the time of possession battle too. So the key. I always like to say, when you're playing an elite player you're playing an elite quarterback like Jared Goff, you got to play a little keep away. He can't score if he doesn't have the ball, right?
Right.
Well, again, Sunday, it just did not matter. And that's, the frustrating thing. Jerry Jeudy, you mentioned earlier, 9 targets, 3 catches, 48 yards. He probably should have. I have him with 2 drops on Sunday. Isaiah Bond. Again, dude, you can't be barking at Joe Flacco last week, and then he comes to you this week, and you're not catching the football with consistency. Like, that's not how this works, Isaiah, in the National Football League. It's one thing to have the confidence, hey, I'm open, throw me the ball. Well, Joe threw you the ball on Sunday. You caught the 50% of the targets, and you had 58 yards. Now, kudos to him. He made one of the offensive plays of the day, the 35-yard touchdown. I made a joke. The Browns have a 35-yard pass in this economy because we just, that's the longest pass play of the season. And again, it speaks to just how awful this offense for the Browns is right now. Let me ask you this, okay?
Yeah.
Where would you place the blame for the Browns' offensive woes? Would you blame Kevin Stefanski? Would you
it's simple. It's plain and simple on this. As much as you want to look at Joe and say Joe's not getting the job done, dude, you can't start with 3/5 of your offensive line that you thought you were going to have going into the season, expect to win. Point blank. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they drop you can't have an offensive line with 3 guys. That's it. And you're playing pieces, parts on the outside. Jack Conklin hasn't seen the field. It's just, you can't. And if you really just want to dig home, you can't win games when you're playing with 3/5 of your offensive line, especially when you don't have a wizard of a coach to coach that offensive line who's now with his father, although they could be out soon too. But that's my point. I mean, if I could only blame it one, I would blame it there.
Yeah, I would agree with you. If you can't hold the edges, you give your quarterback no chance to do anything. Yeah. And here's another one for you. If you're Andrew Berry right now, would you try and trade for a tackle? I say no.
Not right now. You got the draft. I'm ready to turn the page on the season. I hate to say it here. It's not even October yet, but I mean, when you look at the way this thing's coming down, it's just the way it is. All right, Daryl, final thought.
Yeah, I think that says it all.
Fair enough. Thanks for watching Brownie
That's
Bite.
good. That's where we're at, right?
I agree.
We get to the end of September, and it feels utterly hopeless from an offensive standpoint when you're averaging 14 points per game. You have no chance to win in this league when you can't score. Even when you get breaks going your way, you can't cash in on a consistent basis. And when your margin of error is paper thin, the way it is for the Browns, you can't afford to miss blocking assignments. You can't afford to drop passes. You can't afford not to turn turnovers into touchdowns, right?
Right.
And you certainly can't afford to be giving up big returns on special teams. You can't do any of that stuff. And I really thought there was a comment made in the broadcast on Fox on Sunday afternoon where Vilma said, "It's what bad teams do." And
100%. I caught that too. You're
yep,
right.
and
Right.
it's unfortunate. The
Yeah.
Browns are a bad team.
There you go. That's Brownie Bites. He's Daryl. I'm Andy. We'll be back next week. Early, though. You'll be able to catch us early because of the game in London. So thanks for watching on our YouTube channel here for 92.3 The Fan.